Before we get into today's video, I've got a really important announcement on the new Ascent 18. For a limited time, they're gonna have an introductory price of $99.99. So while you're watching this video, if you get the urge to get one for yourself, I'll have an affiliate link in the video description below so you can find it really easily. I think people were really excited when Redcat Racing came out with the Ascent, a performance-oriented crawler in ready-to-run form at an affordable price. And if you're one of those people, I think you're gonna be excited about this. An Ascent 18. It's the long-awaited small-scale rock crawler that Redcat fans have been asking for. The normal price is $119.99. It's four-wheel drive, brushed. It's got a Metal Gear servo in here, LiPo battery, USB charger, clipless body mounting system, and check this out, portal axles and full ball bearings throughout. We gotta get this thing out of the box and take a closer look at all the features. Well, look at this, guys. Redcat has scaled down the single-piece version Lexan body that we originally saw on the 110 scale version. This one, however, is available in 3 colors. I've got the gunmetal version. There is blue and red as well. I like that they went and painted the bed for us, and the windows are transparent, just tinted with the decal that you see. Now, they've got some simple lines on the sides. There's the fender flares, and they give you decals with this kit as well, so you go cover that up if you want to. And then no body clips, which is pretty awesome. Just like the 10 scale version, they went and made a headlight grill plate here, and behind that is a clip that clips into the chassis. And then in the rear, they've got this tailgate accent piece that has the Redcat logo on it, and that secures the clip assembly. And it's just a simple swing clip on the bottom. It just kind of keys into this plate on the bottom of the chassis. So you just spin it over, and you can pop the body up to remove it. So here we go. Pretty simple, just pops right off. You can see the clip in the front, and there's that swinging tab in the rear. Here's a quick size comparison for you guys so you can see where it fits in. All the way over on the left, there's an Axial SCX 24, and then next to it is the Ascent 18. So it's a bit bigger, but wheelbase wise, it starts to match the FCX 18, the TRX 4M, and then you can see all the way over on the right-hand side is Axial's 1/18 scale UTV 18. So it's sized just right, I think, for the performance aspect of it. Should fit right in if you're out crawling with your friends that have any other 18 scale rock crawlers. For the chassis, they went with a twin vertical aluminum plate setup, anodized black, and it is press bent. So the front and rear sections are narrower, and then it widens out for the skid plate area. The front cross brace here integrates that body mount setup, and the bumper is removable. I like it that it's just a simple bar type setup. Then right behind it, they have an accessory plate. I guess you could go throw maybe a battery or a low profile speed controller on there if you're going to change up the electronics. And then the skid itself is, rather narrow and smooth, like that the transmission pokes through the bottom, keeping everything low. Then you got the rock sliders here, which I guess you can mount electronics to as well. Remove them, whatever you want to do. Looks like a multiple piece setup. The battery sits in this tray right behind the transmission, and the simple Velcro strap holds the battery pack down. And a nice, simple, clean layout with this. Then the 2-in-1 speed controller sits right behind that on its own plate. And then we've got another bracket in the rear to help secure the rear bar style bumper. So again, really nice layout, really easy to work on. I of course took this apart for you guys to show you the inner workings of the transmission. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the suspension. There's oil-filled coilover shocks on all 4 corners of this. And look at this, they've got the mini springs, which is absolutely awesome on this small scale rig. Love that they've got a aluminum upper cap and metal ball studs. The shock shaft looks like a decent size to it. And the suspension just feels really smooth. Not too many air bubbles inside those shocks. I think people are really gonna like those right out of the box. The links on here, they've got a 4-link setup front and rear. They're composite links, but they're actually a little bit firmer than a lot of the other 18 scales I have around here in the workshop. Metal ball studs, so everything is looking really good on this. The angle of the links. Can't wait to go outside and see how this thing does on the rocks. Now, of course, we're moving on to the drivetrain, and I got to go right to the axles on this. We've got portal axles, and they've got metal gears on the inside. Metal gears inside the portal housings themselves, and then a metal ring and pinion gear. It does have like a diff cup style setup. They don't have one of the machined aluminum locker style single piece units in there, but everything looks like it's really well built. The axle itself, it's got a lot of nylon content to it, so it's kind of got that grayish look. So these look like they're going to hold up really well. Ball bearings throughout. They are are sealed, and there's CV axles in the front. This thing is pretty well equipped for the price point of it. And then the rear, you know, pretty much the same setup, just has the lockout style portal hub, and there are metal shafts that go from the center spool out to the portal gears. 7mm hexes to adapt the wheels, single piece wheel setup. You've got a similar tire to what we saw on the 10 scale version, of course, just scaled down again. Foam insert on the inside, but a nice soft rubber compound there. Next, I want to show you guys the telescoping drive shafts. These are all composite as well. So even the universal in the center, that's composite. It's not a metal like I probably would have liked to have seen. But who knows, maybe they'll have some options for that. And those go up to the center transmission, and that's super easy to get out. 4 screws on the bottom, 4 screws hold in the cover, and inside are all plastic gears. It's a multi-gear system, all ball bearings inside, and in case you're wondering, they do have a metal gear upgrade for that. The electronics are looking pretty good on this rig. I've already powered it up and just got a little feel for it, and I'm pretty impressed so far, but let me tell you what it's got. We'll start off in the front. The servo is a micro servo, 4 kg and metal gears, and I also like that it's a 3-wire setup, just in case you ever do want to go upgrade later on down the road. You'll be able to do so easily. I already had my reefs in there. It looks like it's going to fit just fine. Let me just show you the steering setup really quick. Direct servo horn on this, so not even a servo saver, composite links, and it does have metal ball studs there. Okay, moving back to the motor. This is a 180 size long can motor, and that's all I know. I couldn't find how many turns it was in the manual, or it doesn't even state it on the box, but I did power it up, like I mentioned. It's got a nice slow crawl to it. The ESC receiver combo, it's a 2-in-1 unit. 3-channel actually, so the servo gets plugged in, then channel 3 you could use for, you know, some accessories or even maybe an extra servo or something like that. But the speed controller itself is also located in this unit. I did see that the BEC is rated at 5 volt, 1 amp. The speed controller is rated up to 40 amps and handles a 2S LiPo battery, which you plug into this JST connector. One neat feature that the electronics also have is it has a trainer mode, which will cut the power down to 50%. So for those getting into it, that might help out. Or if you're just looking for a slower crawl, that might work as well. When you dive into the box, this is the other stuff that you're going to get in the kit. You get the R3C radio, which is actually a 4-channel transmitter, 2.4 gigahertz, all digital trims on it. Everything is located under this panel here, just some simple push buttons. Really nice transmitter for a basic setup. I just wish I had a foam wheel, but it gets the job done. You're just going to need to supply 4 AA batteries for that. You also get 750 milliamp, 7.4 volt LiPo battery pack. So that's going to give you some decent run times. USB balance charger, your instruction manual. Actually, it's a basic instruction manual. You have to scan this QR code if you want to get the full manual, but this will actually get you up and running. It shows you what you need to know to charge it, turn it on. And the only other thing in this kit is some additional body mounts. So if you want to go and swap out the body, you'll be able to put these parts on and throw another body on this. I know one thing that concerns people when a new model comes out is when will there be aftermarket support or option parts? Well, Redcat is coming right out of the gate with a ton of accessories for this rig. Let me just show you guys really quick. They're gonna have the metal gears, which I mentioned earlier, even has ball bearings pressed into them. They've got brass weights for the hexes, and then all these different anodized parts. There's the bronze, and there's red anodized, and some black anodized brass as well. Let me show you over here. They got shock bodies and the links, diff covers, the steering mount, the servo horn, the lower transmission mounting plate, and then all this brass stuff here. They got the diff covers, portal caps, front steering knuckles, links, servo mount, the lower skid, upper links, and then similar stuff available in red. These are aluminum. Shock bodies, again, all the links, the diff covers. So what you could do is you could actually go and mix and match and make your own custom looking rig, or you could just buy all red, you could buy all brass, whatever you want to do. Pretty cool that they have this stuff. Here we go, guys, some outdoor drive time with the Ascent 18, and you hear that? Yeah, not much, right? This thing is super quiet. Show you guys how this thing climbs, and I gotta tell you, I am impressed. I've been driving it probably for about a half an hour now. Really easy to get used to. Tires have some good traction, even though all the rock is wet here. And watch this, even on 2S, it's got some pretty good punch to get over the ledge. Nice. Take it down this drop off here, just nice and slow. Got my finger behind the trigger just to kind of help keep it as slow as I could go. Got some good drag brake. And that's a slow crawl with just keeping forward momentum. I could probably get a little slower, but I think it looks good. I gotta tell you, for right out of the box, the suspension is pretty dialed in. Look at that. Twisting up, drops that wheel down. I mean, we're not hanging up wheels anywhere. Look at this. Plenty of clearance with those axles. I gotta tell you, this is performing way better than I thought it would. I mean, it is a steal for the price they're asking for it. You know, we've been waiting for a while for Redcat to give us a small scale rig, and I think the wait was well worth it. They gave us something that's really capable, really good value, and I think it's built really well. So for those that are just gonna go out and have fun with it, I mean, it runs great just as is. And then for those of us that are gonna go and modify it, there's plenty of options already, and I'm sure that this thing is gonna take off. Had a lot of fun driving it. I mean, it's just so capable. It steers well. I love how the suspension articulates. I mean, the only thing I wish that they did to it was give us some softer foam inserts for the tires, and then maybe the metal universal joints for the center drive shafts. But out of the box, I mean, just killer value. Again, worth every penny, I think. Really good look to it. I mean, if you don't have a Redcat, if you know, it never crossed your mind to have a Redcat RC, I think this is definitely going to change your opinion about the brand. They've been working really hard to give us some cool stuff, and this shows. I mean, this is just a lot of fun. And it seems to be pretty durable too. I actually rolled it over a bunch of times while driving it, and I don't have any damage to report. I do think I'm gonna go and add some of that brass stuff to it, because I think it'll definitely help settle the rig in and make it even more capable on the rocks. Just where it lacks is, you know, that front bite to get it up and over some obstacles, or if you're really going vertical with it, it's gonna wanna roll back on you, but the brass should definitely fix that. So let me know what you think about the Ascent 18. Did they nail it? Are you gonna add one to your collection of RC vehicles? Again, I'll have links for it down in the video description below. We'll see you back soon for some more RC driver videos.